SubRadio makes smart, danceable pop rock that's always expanding its boundaries. Their 2016 release entitled Smart Train Different Station incorporated elements of funk, folk, and EDM. Members include, we got Adam on vocals, Matt on guitar, Mike on guitar and keyboards, John on guitar and keyboards, Michael on drums, and Barry on bass. And these 6 guys produce high-energy live shows which have become well-known and have garnered comparisons to established pop acts like the big ones, like Maroon 5 and such. So great shows from these guys. And I first came across them a few months ago with they released, I caught a video for Caroline, which is one of their it's one of my favorite music videos. They're all in the van. If you check out their profile on dcmusicrocks.com, that's the video I've got for them. And just cool things from these guys. So listeners, it's with great pleasure that I get to formally introduce SubRadio. Hey guys. Hey. Welcome. Now,
yeah,
I want you.
So much, man.
Now they can only hear your voices, so tell them who you are. Introduce yourself and what you play. I've got 3 of them here in the studio with me, so talk to us.
Hey, I am Michael. I'm the drummer, and
my name's Adam. All I do is sing.
My name is Matt, and I play guitar.
Matt play guitar. And now the other 3 guys who aren't here, those guys are.
Yeah, so we're missing right now. We're a 6-piece band, like you said. We're missing John, who plays just about everything for us, and probably could play instruments he's never heard of. We got Mike Chinnon, who plays guitar and keyboards, and then Barry is our alliterative bass player.
Got it.
Yeah.
So those are the guys, and together you make this magic that is SubRadio. Now, tell us, how did the band get together? Talk about that story.
Oh, that's an old one. Matt, you should probably take this one.
Yeah, we got together in high school actually, so it's been like 15 years now. It's been a while.
Literally has been a decade since we were in high school.
And we all kind of met up early on, and just kind of started jamming out together, and then we realized we should be in a band together in high school because it was fun. And
awesome.
We kept playing music together, and here we are 10 years later almost, and now we're going to be doing really cool stuff in the summer.
I applaud you guys for still being together, because staying together for that long that's an achievement. So congrats on that one, guys. Now the name SubRadio, where did that come from?
So the name evolved from an older band name that I won't mention for SEO purposes on the air.
You're so politically correct. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
We had a band name in high school that we weren't really happy with, so we reworked it. But the essentially where this name came from is the early members of the band choosing random words out of a Best Buy catalog.
For real? A Best Buy catalog?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
Which is gonna be like a historic anecdote in like 5 years when there are no Best Buys left, and we're gonna explain during the story.
Hey, it could have been Circuit City, man.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, Best Buy catalog. That's amazing. All right. So now I was asking you earlier during the break for the listeners, what's the songwriting process for you guys? How does it go? Does one person bring a riff? Does somebody write the whole thing? How does that work for you guys?
Kind of bounces around from song to song, but generally we'll start with a riff. Matt is oftentimes the riff generator. He's got such a knack for it. Yeah, he's got such a good head for it. So he'll come to the band with a riff, and we'll jam on it. We'll just all improv stuff. And Adam will sing a melody. No lyrics yet, but he'll kind of cobble something together, and then we'll develop the lyrics later. That's how we've been doing things lately. Or alternatively, Adam Bradley will come to us with chords and lyrics already written, and then we'll write the music to it. But it's the same kind of process where we jam out, so everyone writes their own parts, which is pretty neat.
That's cool. And now, when you're away from the music, talk about you 3 personally. What do you do outside of music and the band?
Well, personally, I do a lot of other music. It's just kind of all music for me right now. I'm about to graduate college, and I'm studying music in college at James Madison University.
Shout out to JMU.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But yeah, outside of the band, I'm just kind of always focused on music stuff. I really like soccer too, so I'm a big DC United fan. And in the EPL, Man City is my other team. But other than that, yeah, it's just all about music.
Nice. What about you, Adam?
Well, of the important stuff. Got to get the soccer team shout.
DC United. Yes, you're allowed to shout out
right.
to them on this show. Absolutely.
I am a distance runner outside of the band, so between the band and between the running, that's about 90% of my waking hours. I've done the Marine Corps Marathon in DC a couple times.
Good gracious, man. So serious distance running here.
The distance, emphasis on the distance, yeah.
Got it.
I live up in Silver Spring. I'm in an a cappella group in DC, and I try to, not to be too on the nose with your show, but I try to get to as many local shows as I can during the week when I'm not playing
awesome.
my own. That's
you are allowed those brownie
my side
points, sir.
project.
Those are awesome brownie points to have. Yes, local shows.
Yeah.
I love it. What about you, Michael? What's your thing?
So by day, I'm a mechanical engineer. So I do design and manufacturing work for a telecommunications company. So I do a lot of CNC machining, a lot of laser cutting, water jet kind of stuff. So so that's me during the day.
Got it.
Peels it off so casually.
He does, right? And then he comes to be a rock star afterwards.
Yeah, I studied physics in school, so that's my background.
Got it.
We're missing the other 3 STEM majors in
Yeah.
the band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're all out of the office, but
Nice.
It's a science heavy group.
But yet I love the combination with art. Sometimes scientists and artists, they become both. The people bridge that gap. There's a lot of really smart folks that do music on the side in DC, and as a result you get things like SubRadio and so many other cool groups that I've got profiles for. It's just amazing. The technical smarts that also translate into amazing musical artistic skills.
Well, and Michael brings all kind of that stuff into the band. I mean, between like rhythmic things and like literally making stuff for the band.
Yeah, I've built a few things for the band, and I'm going to be building a few like custom things for the band to come. And yeah, I feel like if you're sciencey or mathy, for some reason that pattern practice from science and math will help you in music. So especially
cool.
as a drummer, like a rhythm heavy. I don't know. I like to focus on rhythms a lot, and so it's kind of mathematical.
Well, talk about the biggest success moment that comes to mind for SubRadio thus far. What comes to mind on that?
Oh wow, it's got to be pretty recent. So we had a chance back in December at JMU to play with a band called Small Pools.
And for Small Pools?
So it's a band from California, but they're sort of a model that we look to right now. Is they're playing our genre.
Cool.
They're getting a good deal of success with it. And so we got to open a show for them on campus and play to a crowd that, to our surprise, to my surprise anyway, I don't know about you guys, I mean, like, knew some of our lyrics and was like, was there to see. And so we played the show with, like, it's our idols, like this pop rock band that's like making it, like touring with cool bands and everything. And after the show, the JMU like school newspaper writes an article about the show, about like the student union board organized this show, and they wrote an article about it, and the article is like about how nobody expected the opener to be so good.
It's the little things in life, the surprise that like the successful moment is when they write how good the opener was. Like
the picture accompanying the Small Pools article is a picture of us playing, and so it was a cool moment. We got to that was like a win-win.
That's amazing. I love it. So now, what about your earliest memories with music? Where does music come from for you guys?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. So I come from a family that with no background in music whatsoever. I'm the only musician of even including all of my extended family. I have a pretty large family, and I'm the only dedicated musician. One of the few that plays any instrument at all. So I would sit by the radio and listen when I was young. I never had any training, but I would listen constantly. I would just sit there and listen. So that's kind of my first experience with music.
Wow. You guys, what do you got for your first experience with music? What comes to mind?
In contrast, my dad was in a band in college. Didn't really go anywhere, but he was in a band in college. and he had like a recording studio set up in our living room when I was a baby, and like he was still putting a lot of tracks down, and he hid them all from me on our like shared iTunes account for years. He didn't want me to find them. But so there are pictures of me like at 3 years old, with the big headphones on in front of a mic. Like he wanted his son's voice on the track, and that and my dad raised me on the standard white guy fare of dad music, of like the Zeppelin and the Who and all that stuff, which was a good intro. But
Matt, what about you?
Similar to Mike, no one ever in my family at all has ever touched a musical instrument, so it was kind of up to me to figure that out by myself. I wasn't really interested at all in music, to be honest, until I picked up a guitar around, like, I want to say middle school, like 6th grade. I think I touched my first guitar, and then after that I was just like, I like this.
So it started with guitar, and
and then it just went on from there, and I started writing songs pretty early, and that's what got me into like the whole wanting to be in a band thing, and that's when I met these guys, and just kind of snowballed from there.
That's awesome. Now I got one more question that I always love to ask, and that's to any of you who wants to answer, which is, if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be?
Who are we advising?
That part's up to you.
Future musicians?
If you want to, sure.
Just one piece of advice, generally.
So at that Small Pool show, we got the privilege of actually hanging out with the Small Pools guys afterwards. So I will pass on a piece of advice that was given to me from their drummer, and their singer, kind of both of them, but I heard it from the drummer first.
Okay.
Don't be a jerk. Ever in life. And you can extend that anywhere, but be easy to work with. Don't be a jerk. Just be nice, and everyone will have a good time for it.
That's kind of the guiding principle of SubRadio to this point, I think, as well.
Don't be a jerk.
Don't do it. There's no reason.
It sounds like a really successful t-shirt campaign too. It's just don't be a jerk. # like, there you go.
Oh man. You might have just given us something there.
Possible band radio shirt. There you go. Make sure you get the hashtag in there so you can find all the people with the photos. Now, for those listeners we're going to jump into some music, but for those listeners who are interested in, who want to find out more about you guys, where do they go to find out more about SubRadio?
We have a website. It's sub-radio.com. And obviously, we're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those other apps.
You can get our music on Spotify, SoundCloud.
Yep.
It's up most places you would find music.
So social
even on
media,
the weird ones like Google Play and Amazon
Awesome.
Music,
CD Baby,
all the places.
Yeah.